There's a great deal of focus on urban areas, but in the rural areas with transportation and housing and the ability to get services, food pantries, it's very difficult.
There are far too many individuals who are underserved because of their economic situation.
So we have a lot of challenges in terms of meeting the needs of the rural poor.
We have an awful lot of mobile home parks. We have people living in terribly substandard housing.
For many battered women in our most rural counties, they are geographically isolated, socially isolated, economically isolated, and that's one of the reasons why we concentrate our efforts there.
I didn't know where to go to get the help to go through what I needed to go through with my husband. I have a 25-year-old son. When we lived together in Coal Hollow, there was nobody around. My husband had gone drinking, and he came home and he was very verbally abusive. He had been taking my medication. I had a shotgun at the house, and I saw him pull the gun out of the corner, and then I heard the box of shells. But the next thing I knew, I was trying to get the gun out of his hand, and he turned right around and aimed the gun at me and started poking the gun at me. The first time I met Carlotta, she had that confidence that in turn gave me confidence.
The first time I met Lori, she outlined a lot of domestic violence. And the most important thing was getting that gun away from Eddie, her husband.
Because of her going into the courtroom and handling things the way she did, that gun was gotten out of his possession.
We received a 3-year order of protection with aggravating circumstances, and we didn't even have to have a trial.
If it wasn't for legal aid, I probably would have no order of protection right now.
We've been very fortunate here in Northeastern New York to have the financial support of many of the largest and most prominent law firms in our community.
I became co-chair of the Justice for All campaign because I felt a professional obligation to participate in a process that was designed to fund access to the courts for the poor.
It's very important for the Legal Aid Society to be able to depend on the Justice for All campaign to be providing a supplement to their budget.
I would love to see every law firm in the Capital District and throughout the Northeast region contributing to legal aid.
Lawyers have a different obligation, so my response to a statement like we have other charitable obligations is that as an attorney, this is an ethical obligation.
I look to the community as a whole to come forward and support the work of the Legal Aid Society.
Many lawyers participate in our private attorney involvement program.
As a pro bono attorney, I actually get involved in providing, obviously, pro bono services to individuals, the same type of people who are usually provided services by legal aid.
We are now the largest voluntary state bar association in the country with over 76,000 members, and we have demonstrated across the board a significant commitment to providing pro bono services to the poor.
Many times we've taken pro bono cases. That's a very important part of our practice. And just the smallest thing to help them out will enhance their life.
We've been moving. We've been lucky in the last year or so to start a legacy foundation where we're building an endowment from legal aid supporters, so we'll have a long-term funding source.
I was intrigued by this new program to allow people to make contributions, but not directly out of their pocket. As now a guardian of justice, I saw the opportunity of dedicating the benefits that I get through my public employment. There would be no better way to make what had been a dream finally a reality.
People will be able to hopefully look back at that endowment and say these people left a good legacy for legal aid.
Legal aid matters because it affords opportunity, it affords choice, it affords equality.
Every person is entitled to an attorney.
Legal services is that last step that lifts people.
Legal aid matters because life isn't fair, and people always suffer.
People, just because they don't have money, should not be denied access to the courthouse.
Legal aid is possibly the most important function that we provide to citizens in our country and in our state.
Legal aid actually is established as an establishment now.
We've been around for 85 years. We expect to be around for another 85 years.
It's a privilege to be a lawyer. With privilege comes responsibility.
When you know that it can take you a little bit of time to really help someone, it's worthwhile.
Certainly it was an honor for me to be part of legal aid for those many years.
I've always been very proud of being a legal aid attorney.
Since I can remember, I always wanted to be a lawyer.
You want to be the champion for the underdog.
I love it. I wouldn't do anything else.
It's something you get involved with and you never leave because the need continues.
I want to be a protector. That's what I thought of it as, and that's what I want to be.
Without legal aid, we would have to change our Pledge of Allegiance from with liberty and justice for all to with liberty and justice for some.
Working at Legal Aid is a tremendous opportunity to change and improve people's lives. And I can think of no better work.